Hi, I'm Cindy Dawkins. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm going to share with you today about the iLs programs and the benefits. Your iLs home coach will help you establish what the most appropriate program is and how to navigate those programs in a sequential way. The first program I want to tell you about is the Calming for Emotional Dysregulation and Sensory Processing. This is a preparatory program that can be used with any of the programs. It can be used at any time during or before any of the other therapeutic programs when dysregulation or anxiety becomes the prevailing concern. And it helps with settling the dysregulation of over-responsivity with tactile, visual, and auditory system responses. This provides a beginning point for self-regulation. This program helps provide the basics of calming, reducing the need to move and the forceful use of self when performing motor activities. It decreases anxiety and stress. It helps with poor modulation or children that have difficulty shifting gears during transitions. It's a gentle introduction to more complex programs, allowing the child to adjust to the headphones and the bone conduction. For those with tactile or auditory defensiveness, it may be helpful to use the dream pad prior to beginning a full iLs program to acclimate to the bone conduction. The sensory and motor program, it's used to improve information processing for sensory integration and motor skills. When combined with movement, it's used to help with those that have problems with balance and coordination, whether they're a thrill seeker with poor safety concerns or a movement avoider who's sedentary. It helps those who have fear of movement, tilting their head backwards, feet leaving the ground, walking on uneven surfaces, or fearful of sudden movements. It helps those with motor planning difficulties, whether it's carrying out unfamiliar activities such as dance steps, imitation of movements, or constructing objects in a sequential manner. It helps with poor body awareness. It helps with those that are oversensitive to odors, taste, clothing or touch, loud noises, or avoid eye contact. The bone conduction activates the movement and coordination centers of the brain. At the same time, air conduction is activating the auditory system, really creating a highway of faster, more efficient responses. The brain responds to multisensory input by making new connections, called neuroplasticity. The increased neural pathways allow for more adaptive responses, which means that the children are more flexible and resilient and can develop better motor planning. The concentration and attention program is used to help with mental focus for planning and task completion. It helps to increase attention, speed of processing, and helping to intentionally listen to others. It helps with sitting still, especially children that have poor posture, hyperactivity, or a need to fidget. It helps with memory and motivation, and when combined with visual and vestibular activities, it helps prepare the eyes for improved visual attention, sustained focus, and retention of information. As our body begins to establish more controlled, fluid, sequential responses to motor challenges, our cognitive skills in turn follow. So we see improved visual and auditory attention, improved sequencing of thought, and the ability to process reading and writing with greater efficiency. The reading and auditory program. It's used to help with auditory processing skills that are needed for reading, such as the sound symbol decoding, the sequencing of sounds for word recognition, recognizing the differences in similar sounds, working memory for reading comprehension. Additionally, it helps with language and communication skills such as receptive and expressive language. It helps them to be processed much more easily, and it helps the ability to hear and adjust the voice volume so that children can understand the difference between having an inside voice and an outside voice. It helps with speech. It helps with planning and execution of ideas. It helps with other cognitive functions like mental focus and sustained attention. Auditory and visual attentiveness, which is attending to the appropriate stimulus, for instance, putting background noises and scanning for a word in a busy visual environment. It helps with creativity. Listening to specifically filtered music allows the ears to more easily discriminate sounds, so your eyes connect the symbol with the sound and helps provide more flexibility, speed, and meaning to reading, which increases comprehension. This also translates into handwriting, so as the ears hear, the eyes process the words, and the hands have more efficient pathways for recreating the letter, resulting in increased control and speed with handwriting. So iLs helps both ears and eyes work together for efficient learning. All three programs are valuable for distinct populations, and for everyone they build a neural network for improved neuroplasticity. So the iLs systems are staged in a hierarchy, from calming to sensory motor to concentration and attention and reading and auditory. So when you finish one program, you have the availability to move on and do more programs that are more advanced.